The following program is a Town of Colonie television production of the William K. Sanford Town Library.
Welcome to An Open Door in the Arts. My name is Barbara Richer, and I am your host as we travel around the Capital Region, visiting some of the most interesting artists that enrich our life in this area. Today we don't have to go very far at all. This group is primarily from the Albany area. They are a wonderful Jewish choral group that will be performing, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, at the Linda next month. Today, it's my very great pleasure to introduce Matt Greenblatt, and Anna Dubrova from Dubrova. I've been practicing saying that name, but you wouldn't know. It's just a wonderful, rich name, Dubrova. Anna. They come to us from Niyama, which is the Jewish choral group's name, and it means melody or being pleasant. And I love that fact. I think you've chosen a beautiful name, and I know that your music is beautiful.
Thank you.
Matt, maybe you can tell us a little bit about when the group was started and by whom.
Sure, Barbara. First of all, thank you for the airtime and your time, and thank you for the publicity. We very much appreciate it. Nema Jewish Community Chorus was founded in 1992 by Rosemary Linsider, who's since moved out of the Capital District. She now lives in Israel. Mm-hmm. She had this vision. She had a very distinct vision of having a Jewish community chorus, not affiliated with the synagogue, but for the whole community, mm-hmm. that would operate and do music much like Zamir Chorale of Boston, which is sort of the primary contemporary choral representation of Jewish music.
What a wonderful thing to aspire to. That's exciting.
Well, if you've ever heard Zamir, you'd know just how wonderful. I mean, they're just terrific. There's also a very good Zamir chorale in New York now, mm-hmm. and other places across the country. But I think the first real one was Zamir of Boston. And she was from Boston, actually, Rosemary. So that's another reason I think she
brought it here.
Brought it here, yeah. And so she had this vision of forming this chorus. And in 1992, she did that. It was actually in conjunction with the Albany Jewish Community Center initially. Mm-hmm. And then in 1996, we became an independent, not-for-profit entity. And the chorus consists of about 25 to 30 people, and it's a mixed chorus. It's a 4-part chorus. And the singers are mostly, just community people, amateur singers, but we mm-hmm. have 2 professionals all along. One is our conductor, yes. Anna, and music director. And then we have a piano accompanist. Right now our piano accompanist is named Rebecca Benjamin. She's a young lady from this area. She's very well educated and great musician. We've had some wonderful accompanists over the years.
And I can tell you that you say that your chorus is made up of local singers. They are wonderful, though. They are very professional sounding. It's a beautiful, beautiful chorus.
Thank you, Barbara. That's really mostly due to Anna.
And we'll get to Anna in just a moment. But
she's the one that makes it happen. We have members from Clifton Park all the way to Selkirk, Troy to Schenectady.
Wow.
So we're actually a regional chorus, even though, corporately we're in Albany and our concerts are at the Linda in Albany, mm-hmm. but we're actually a regional chorus. Mm-hmm. And, we perform usually one annual concert, which is sort of a large event. We bring in guest artists from around the region, around the country. Mm-hmm. Usually they have a national or international reputation. And then we also do community performances, nursing homes, interfaith concerts in Schenectady. We've done those. We did the choral festivals with Moho, and some years ago there was a gay community had a choral festival up at Hudson Valley and
Yes.
Community College. We were in that. So we've been sort of all over the area.
I think I remember too seeing you at the Mastery Center with
Yes,
the group.
we did.
That was wonderful, and they were choruses or choirs from
Yeah,
all around the.
Right, we did a choral festival, a
Yes,
Jewish choral
yes,
festival
yes.
at the Masry, and we had choruses from local synagogues join us as our guests.
It was wonderful.
Yeah, it was
that
great
was really
fun.
wonderful. Now I understand. I was surprised, but I think there's something special about your chorus that we talked about. While it is a Jewish chorus, and your music is from
Jewish
sources, liturgical sources, that everyone in your choir doesn't have to be Jewish to join this chorus.
Good point. Right, the chorus is open to everybody, and we have non-Jews in the chorus as well. You just got to like to sing. You got to be interested in Jewish choral music, which is a very interesting topic in and of itself, because it's very interesting repertoire. And be able to carry a tune. And we have people who are not Jewish who've joined us and been with us for years.
It's a very
Right.
rich, wonderful mix of voices and backgrounds, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, we've been fairly fortunate. We always need more singers, though.
So the word goes out.
So the word goes out.
Here's some arts inviting you in.
Right. If you like to sing, you don't have to worry about foreign languages, because all the lyrics are transliterated, and we help people with the lyrics as well if you need it. But really, it's just all transliterated, so you don't have to worry about that. And
I'm going to interrupt you for just a second, because I think it's a nice lead in now to someone who also has so much to share with us and tell us about the chorus. Anna,
Right.
Can you tell us a little bit about how, I know that you came from the Ukraine, which is interesting in and of itself. How did you find yourself here in Albany, and how did you become, back in '92, the conductress of this wonderful chorus?
In fact, I came from Russia, not Ukraine.
Russia.
I was born in Ukraine, and it's true, I lived most of my life, my childhood and early adulthood in Ukraine, and I was educated in Ukraine.
Okay.
And I had very good education, very professional. 16 years of learning music, it gave me a lot.
16 years of music study,
Yes.
that's amazing.
It was amazing. Then, because of my family situation, I had to move to Russia. And I found a little bit different outlet, because when I was in Ukraine, I was a professor in a college of music. But then when I moved to Russia, I had to change my work. But it was still in the field of music. I was doing children choirs. I was doing teaching in a school of music. And all of a sudden, I've got that invitation to create a new choral group in a suburb of St. Petersburg. And so I practically started with zero, and I created a great group that went abroad first time in Russia's life. We went to Norwegian festival, and that group
Wonderful.
was kind of honored with a gold medal, and me as a conductor too.
How exciting.
We were winners of whole country festival. So I had to leave the works that I loved, because life in Russia became very difficult, and especially for Jewish people. And when we got that opportunity, we just grabbed it and we left country. Of course, when I came to United States, it was very difficult. In my wildest dreams, I could not imagine that I'm going to be a choral conductor again. I was ready to do anything.
I can't imagine how exciting, frightening, and upheaval that you must have been in to come to this country.
It was all together, but to tell the truth, even it was very confusing, very first few months, and it's a cultural shock. But in the same time, we've been very, very happy. From the very first day, the very first time when we've heard on the custom, welcome to United States.
So you found a home.
I found a home. And I feel this way every day of my life.
Now, how did you suddenly find this wonderful choral group, or how did they find you?
Well, it was interesting story. I worked as a teacher of music in the nursery school in a Hav Shalom synagogue. And at some point, there was a concert of Zamir Chorale of Boston. And I went to that concert, and when I saw that group dressed in beautiful blue dresses and they're singing so gorgeously, I just started to cry. I said, oh my God, it was work of my life. It was my only love to be a choral conductor. And I would never be able to do that. And that chorus reminded me of my chorus that I left in Russia. So it was very dramatic for me. So my director saw me crying. She said, why are you crying? And I said, because I'm just looking at it, I'm listening to it, and I realize that it's never going to happen in my life again.
Great sadness.
And somehow she, behind my back, she went to Rabbi, and she told him that my story. And he said, wait a second, there is a woman that I first wants to create a chorus in Albany. So there was Rosemary Linsider. So after the concert, they both took me aside and said, Anna, we've heard that you've been choral conductor in Russia. Why don't we get together and create that new choral group?
Oh, Anna.
I was scared. I said, no, never. I don't have enough English language. I have no knowledge about Jewish music. How I'm going to do that? I don't know how to explain my views. I can understand music, but I don't know Hebrew, I don't know Yiddish, I don't know anything about Jewish
It didn't
music.
seem like it was going to work too well for you.
No. And she said, you know what, I'm going to help. We're all going to help you. Just try it. Just take a courage and try it. And after, I don't remember how long, 15, 20 minutes, I said, okay, I will try.
And the rest became history now.
Yes, and the rest became history, and I never felt, not a day I was sorry that I started it.
And
I love it.
And I'm sure the choir wasn't either. They just are so wonderful. You can tell what a bright star you are to them, and they are to you. It's a very mutual thing that happens.
It's a very special relationship.
Yep.
I really love my choir, and I hope I have the same response from them, because we're all doing great thing together. We're making music, and not just music, but it was kind of wish of my life to get acquainted with the Jewish musical culture, but unfortunately I never had that opportunity in Russia. I know all the world music, I know a lot of things, but I knew anything about Jewish music. So I'm still learning with my chorus together.
And then you teach in exchange for that all of us that can come to these concerts and learn this beautiful music that's been so long, so long with the world, but not often heard by many of us. So
it's a real treasure chest, because it's so many different varieties of that music from different regions, different languages. We do sing in 4 languages, right?
Yeah.
4 languages we are singing. And
4 languages, the chorus sings in 4 different languages during the course of their 23 years. They can
actually even 5, because we did some Russian.
Oh, well, I was counting Russian. Yeah, Hebrew, English, Yiddish, Ladino, and Russian, right.
5 languages.
Wow, in 5 different languages.
Yes,
the interesting thing is that we say 5 different languages, and you think, well, if I go, I may not understand, what they're singing. But all of this music has such spirit to it that if you don't understand a precise word, you have a feeling and an explanation of where it's coming from and what it is about.
Well, we make sure that in our programs we have translation of every piece and description and where it come from, because all our repertoire coming from absolutely different cultures, different time, different languages. So
the audience
styles
is being educated and learning while they're being entertained and enriched. That's a combination you can't beat. You can't find often either, but you certainly can't beat it. What else would you like to tell us, Matt, about the choir?
Well, I mean, as
Chorus?
Anna was talking about, I just love hearing her story because it's just a great story.
It's a magical story.
It's a wonderful story. And when we were interviewing our piano accompanist last year, I used an English idiom that I knew would throw Anna. When I was trying to explain to this prospective accompanist what it was like, I said, well, Anna can make a silk purse out of a sow's ear. And that's exactly what's going on. Then again, she uses some Russian idioms with us that
to try and keep you on your toes.
Just to keep us on our toes. Sing through your ears. Try that one.
Sing through your ears.
breathe through.
Breathe through your ears.
Oh, breathe through your ears.
Yeah.
That makes better sense now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, if I want them to get
Higher?
accurate pitch, not to be flat, then I want them to breathe through their ears.
It must be a place of great education to be at your rehearsals.
We know what that means now.
How many folks are in the chorus?
25 to 30 is generally what we run. Sometimes over 30, but generally we're in the 25 to 30 range. You got to fill 4 parts,
When you say 4 parts, in case our audience is not sure what that means.
Soprano, alto,
Right.
tenor, and bass.
So it's a full chorus.
It's a
full chorus.
4-part chorus. And go ahead.
And also we divide some parts into very often altos are split in 2 parts and sopranos split in 2 parts, and sometimes tenors and basses are split. So sometimes we have 8 voices going at the same time.
Amazing. Amazing.
So it creates beautiful harmony.
Now, I know there's something wonderful coming up that will be an opportunity for all of us to come and see, and that is on June 7th. Right. Can together you tell us a little bit about the concert that we'll be coming to?
Sure. On June 7th at 7:30 at the Linda, we're doing our 23rd annual concert.
Wow.
Our guest artist is Noah Aronson. He's a young performer, composer. He's done cantoring, and actually at the moment he's in rabbinical school. I think he's from Boston, but right now he's in New York City. What happened was last year we did one of his pieces. He takes the liturgical music, which can be very old,
Right.
the lyrics, and he puts them to new tunes, modern contemporary tunes.
He's a young man.
He is, I think he's under 30,
Okay.
or at most 30. And he did this one piece of music, Shalom Aleichem, which means peace, right? It has a Latin beat to it. And it's just
How exciting.
a lot of fun to sing. So we saw his name and we looked into him, and long story short, we hired him, and he's going to be coming to join us on June 7th. He's also composed some choral music,
Yes.
which is pretty interesting. Well, I think it's beautiful music, wonderful music. And then this year, we decided pretty early on, no theme. We were just going to let Anna pick whatever music she wanted. But as we looked at the body of music that she picked that we were rehearsing, we realized there was a theme. And that it's all contemporary Jewish composers putting liturgical music to contemporary tunes. So we named the concert Modern Traditions, a salute to contemporary Jewish music. And that's what we're doing. I mean, if people are interested in tickets, they can certainly buy them at the door. Although, we fill up the Linda, so We've had good luck over the years
We
with great
will
audiences.
we will have your website and all that information at the end of this. It'll be, as you watch the show roll out, you'll see all their information. We're putting posters up all over, so you can look for posters too. There'll be some here at the library. I wonder if I can just go back to the music for a minute. Do you have a sense at all of what it was that appealed so much to you about the contemporary sound?
Over the years, we did sing some contemporary music, but most of it was more traditional or folk style. And this year, because we invited Noah, somehow it's all pulled things together. I started to look at the pieces that would match into program that click very well with his music, because you want kind of to keep at the same time you want some variety, but you want also to keep something has to connect things together. And for some reason that we didn't really sing too much of contemporary music, and it seems that pieces we did in past, people just loved it, and not just audience but also members of the chorus, and they're a little bit more challenging, and I think we're ready for challenge.
Excellent.
That was actually the reasons why we went into contemporary, to do something totally different that we never did before, because in 23 years, it's not so easy to
find something new.
to find something new and different from what we did before. And that was a good opportunity for us.
I think it is exciting to marry the older, the tradition, with a contemporary presentation. I think that's a very exciting avenue to go down, because you can reach and satisfy and continue to enrich the folks that are in the audience, that are aware of the roots of the music and have heard it, but this new way of framing it accepts and brings in and encourages younger members of the audience to make it their history too, to understand that history themselves. Whereas if it was only in the one style, I think we'd be losing some of our younger audience sometimes. So this young man sounds wonderfully exciting. I did look at your website, which is amazing. You should all go to their website. It's a very nicely done website, very complete history. And I noticed the picture of the young man, Noah, who is coming, quite a young, very nice looking young man with a guitar. And that should encourage you to bring some of your family, I would think, some of your younger people, to encourage them to come out and share this evening with you.
It's a very good point, because we really want to attract younger generation to come and learn about Jewish music. Because this is becoming a kind of problem, because young people are not interested anymore.
You face it along with some of the rest of our arts programs in this area. The symphony, other musical groups are looking at the graying of their audiences. And so we're all struggling with how to make it relevant, make history and make music and make art relevant to our younger folks. And this is an amazing way to do it, I think.
In fact, one of our pieces is composed by someone who has local ties.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Susanna Prop. She's the daughter-in-law of a local resident, and she actually composed a Hanukkah piece, which we got hold of and Anna liked, and so we're going to premiere her song. At least it's an Albany premiere.
A premiere.
Yes. It's not a correct time, but we love the piece so much we decided to put it in program.
Of course.
We'll find a way to make it connect to that time.
I'm sure.
We have a way to do it already, actually.
It's true.
Yeah.
No, we will all celebrate, and those of us who are not Jewish, who will be coming because of the appreciation of the beauty of your chorus and the beauty of your music, we'll enjoy Hanukkah any time of the year that you'd like to give it to us. So
It is a joyous song, yes.
Yeah. Well, did you have anything else you'd like to say, Anna, before we begin to wrap up here?
Well, I think we kind of really mention everything, and I want to thank you very much for giving us this opportunity.
You're welcome.
And I want again to invite people to come and experience our beautiful music and become fans of our chorus and maybe become members too.
Part of the family. That would be wonderful. That would be wonderful.
Usually people who come, they stay.
Yes. Well, I'm an example of that. So, and Matt, you looked like you wanted to just say one more thing.
Again, thank you. And it's a really interesting repertoire of the music we do, because Jewish history is, Jews have been all over the world, so they're influenced by music from all over the world. So the styles of music we do from year to year, and concert, and during a concert can be just quite astounding, quite different. You can have pieces that sound like they come straight out of Spain, pieces that sound like gypsy music because it's klezmer from Eastern Europe. So you could have various kinds of music, and it's not all liturgical that we do. This year it mostly is, but we do a lot of Israeli folk and a lot of Eastern European folk, and of course the Ladino music,
the feeling of the folk music too.
The Ladino music from Spain, from the Jews that came out of Spain, the Sephardic Jews, is generally folk music as well.
I think I'm glad you brought that up, actually, just before we close, because that was so interesting to me when we met before we met today. People don't realize, they do, but I'm not always sure there's an appreciation of the fact that Jews have been all over the world, as you said, and so their music will represent all of these different areas in different beats and different sounds and different words, and so you can always know that you're going to get a very full, very enriched evening when you come to one of the Neema chorus programs. A very wonderful evening can be promised to you at the time at 7:30 on June 7th, 23rd annual concert taking place at the Linda, and I hope to see you there. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.